Hey, my name's Jessica, and I'm here to talk a little bit about myself and introduce myself. I kind of want to share my struggles because these past, over 10 years have been really hard for me. And I want to basically come out of the closet. I am diagnosed manic depressive, also a dual diagnosis of schizoaffective, which is effectively the same thing as a manic depressive, but with a little bit of schizophrenia in it. And I've been that way probably since I was about 23. I was in denial for most of my life, and I've now learning to accept it, which is the hardest thing because you've got to pay attention. You've really got to pay attention. I'm on a mood stabilizer, and this is my story. I was hospitalized 4 times in my life, right? 4 times. And it was involuntary. And the first time was when I was 23. I had a friend die. I ended up living with the family to help them out, and I couldn't handle the stress, and I broke down. And that's when I met up with a cop at a park because I was burning a small fire, very small. And he told me I couldn't do that, and I ended up grabbing the credit card from his hand and scratched him in the process, and he took me off to a mental hospital. And that's where I was diagnosed with bipolar. And now I got it through that, and it was really hard. I had depression afterwards, and I was 24, and my real father, he died, and I got stressed again. I might have not stayed on my medication. The details are a little hazy, and I got hospitalized the second time. Now, fast forward, I'm now 36, and when I was about 34, I had landed at home at my mother's house, and I had thrown everything onto the lawn from the little trailer that I was living in, and I was acting kind of crazy, and a cop was called, and they took me up to a facility and transported me to another mental hospital. And then the following year, I was 35, and I ended up once more in a mental hospital. I was doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Now, I've managed to ruin 2 cars in the process. I spray painted one inside and out, thinking I was doing some magnificent art project, and it's been really rough. Every time that I gone manic, I had also gotten super depressed, and the depth of my depression was very crippling. It was to the point where I would think about suicide every single day, and it was a really scary place to be in, and that would go on for months. And it's kind of sad. Partially was because the medication had a side effect of suicidal thoughts. So if you ever take risperidone, don't take it. It's not a good medication, and it can cause suicidal thoughts. And so I've come out of all of that, and I have a solid job that I'm thankful for. Yes, I do manual labor. I love being outdoors. Anything outdoorsy, I will eat up right away because I'm just love seeing the trees and the birds and all of the bees and everything. So it's a really great blessing to be in nature all the time. So I had gotten this gig for a couple years, and I'm thankful that I didn't lose the gig. And now I'm here kind of to tell my story. It's one that is full of suffering, and it's a little scary, and it's really scary, actually, because someone who deals with a mental illness like myself has to realize that we're not in control. And self-control is such a big deal for me, like huge. If I'm not in control, it's like majorly, like, holy shit, I'm not in control. And just losing all self-control is such a scary place. It's fun in the moment when I'm going manic. It's so much fun, I'll admit that. But the other side of it is terrifying. To not want to have life anymore and to not want to live anymore is really terrifying. And I'm writing a book about it. I spent so many years in denial about my own mental health, and I even had an addiction. I'm still battling with smoking cigarettes. It's a terrible, terrible habit, and if you ever get addicted to smoking cigarettes, please stop immediately. And and yeah, so I've been through some pretty hardcore struggles, and we're in the year, it's a new year, and I wanted to just open conversation. If anyone has comments or questions, let me know. The purpose of this channel was not to fully talk about my mental illness. It is like coming out and telling people, hey, I've been through this, but it's also partially a channel that I wanted to create to talk about spirituality, things that I find I'm passionate about. Now, through all that, I have learned to play guitar a little bit. I'm not super good at it. I created my own album. I never published it, and now I kind of wanted to figure out what was next, and the obvious step was to like maybe share my story and maybe help people along the way who either have just discovered that they have mental illness or that have been dealing with it for many years. This is an open discussion. I know this is one way, and you're viewing me right now, which is a little scary too, because this is my coming out story. I've struggled, and it's a very, very freeing feeling, because I'm feeling stable now, and I'm on a medication, and I'm staying on medication, and as upsetting as it may be, I'm going to be on it for the rest of my life. And I know that because I had a friend say to me, and I was trying to rationalize why I'm not mentally ill. I'm like, I was just stressed. All these situations that I was in was just stressed. And she turned to me and she said, girl, I don't handle stress like that. And I'm like, touche. Touche. I handle stress in weird ways. I begin to think that I'm an artist, or I'm, and not that I'm not an artist. I am. I don't have anything published. I just I have struggled economically for a long time, and the biggest thing I realized was, like, I was trying to ignore money. And I know I'm hopping all over the place, but please bear with me. I was trying to ignore money for a long time, and it had been a source of pain. At the age of 13, my father sent me a letter and said he didn't want to see me until I was in my 20s, until I'd grown up. He thought I had stolen money off the table, and he felt like the only reason why I wanted to see him was because his money, and it wasn't so. And I see that now, but I have avoided money all my life, and that's something I want to get into too on this channel. And just between spirituality and between finances, it's something that I want to kind of discover more about, and I think the more that I discover, the more I will be able to share with you all. And yeah, so I'm in a happy place right now. I'm 36, and I have failed numerous times, and it's really scary having nothing. And then I realize, you know what? I don't have nothing. I have a life. I have a voice. I have a breath. And those things are all pretty valuable because they're so limited. And this ride, this journey, I mean, it may not last forever. The soul may go on. We do not know. We do not know. And I guess there's a lot of people who claim to know, but I claim that I don't know. And I'm really wanting to just connect with other people, and that's the reason why I'm starting this channel. So if you have any questions or comments, or try not to be rude. I'm really into kindness. I'm into love. I'm into self-love, self-care. It's a big goal in my life to teach myself many new exciting things and experience the world, because we have such a beautiful blessing surrounded us. All these amazing people in the world, and amazing lives, and amazing places that just make your heart stop and drop for a minute and be like, oh my God, thank you so much for giving me what I've been given. And I know in my heart I'm always gonna want more. That's the nature of being alive, is wanting more. But we also have this nature to want to experience peace and happiness, and I think that is very much within our ability. So I just want to say thank you for listening, and keep in touch. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel if you like what you've heard and you want to be a part of my interactions. I'm happy to have you. If you don't worry about it. You have a good life, and yeah. This is me being authentic as I can be. So yeah. Thank you, and everybody take care. You have a peaceful, loving day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.